tell you what, in that case, may I just say, take it away, and I'll toss in a question here or there, but I'd like for you to just feel free to make your entire presentation. Take it to whatever depth you want and cover any topic that you wish.
Good. So here's what happened. A year ago, I wrote the script, Last Evangelist, which basically gives an account of what's happening today and what I believe is going to happen in the near future. I play a cop, John Rhodes, and my job is to bust unregistered churches. You're either registered with the government, you're unregistered. And so that's what I do. I find unregistered churches, I persecute them. So one night, God deals with me in my apartment. So with the Bible in one hand, a gun in the other, I set out to find the Antichrist. The one world government is married to the religious government. We deal with cashless society. We deal with, all that stuff, deep state. Well, okay, so what does this mean? So I wrote it. So then I had to start researching and finding out, well, could this stuff be true? Or am I just writing crazy stuff off the top of my head? John, I never intended to start doing shows, like this and I have a video channel now. I just started a Roku channel. I never intended to do this kind of stuff. I intended just to make this TV series. But the deeper I got into this, I call it CSI meets Revelation, the more I investigated it, the more I was shocked. I mean, I would sit and tell my wife at night, I go, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I feel like it's not, because you hear about all this. I heard about it for years. I'm going, oh, these guys are crazy. They're out of their mind. They're making money off of it. But I'm here to tell you, it's not what we think it is. It's worse than what we think it is.
Deception and secret operations are essential to any, strategy, let alone a military operation. I think we know that. So that makes complete sense. Death trains and FEMA camps.
Yeah, if you research the Holocaust that actually started in the early 30s, 1933 in Germany, and you see the pattern of which it rolled out, and you look at what's going on now, you'll see a clear cut, almost like a trademark of what's happening today. Of course, it's a different paradigm. It's not the same, but it's the same movement. You'll see how this is happening. Now, we'd have to do another whole show just on that. But the trick is now to get people conjugated in certain areas so they're easier to manage. And once that happens, and it's done through events of weather, it's done through events of social unrest, different things. And it's happening. If you just look at a whole map, you'll see how eventually the deep state will have people in a place where it'll be very easy to implement this plan of the FEMA camps and death trains.
I was talking with somebody the other day. I keep seeing these locomotives moving around this one particular area, and they're clearly remote controlled. And these are some of the cars that are on there are, I'm not going to say, I've seen these photographs, but I'm just naturally suspicious. You have to be in this business or you're liable to fall for just about anything. However, those are most unusual looking railroad cars.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody who actually works in the railroad business. I'm real middle management, maybe even below middle management, just an operator. And I said, what about remote control trains? Well, you'll see them moving around the yards a little bit, but they're not actually going over cross country. Yeah, they are too. Yeah. I mean, just like that flight termination service that was installed without Boeing's knowledge, according to some sources. I've talked to airline pilots before, and they said, "No, I'm going to have to call Bravo Sierra on that. I don't think this thing can land itself." It's like, yeah, well, some of them can, and they've been able to do it since about 2000.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just how it is.
Absolutely. I'm one of my episodes in Last Evangelist deals with the trains. I call it the death trains. So in order to write it, and see, I can't, because I'm writing this on the foundation, John, of, and it's true, of God's calling me to make this, to tell the truth. Well, how can I do this if I'm out there in outer space, right? So I need to have, I've got to have some kind of evidence. I'm like you. I'm the biggest, I doubt more than anybody when people tell me this stuff. Like, I need to see it.
You
right?
have to.
You have to, because you just can't treat God that way. And so when I investigate this stuff, and I'm meeting with a guy the week after next who has been with the railroad for many, many, many years, and he claims he's got some stuff to tell me that I've never heard before. And I'll be very interested to know about it. But I will say this, that a lot of people think that air travel is going to be the key travel when all this hits the fan. Well, it's not. It's still going to be ground transportation. It'll be trains and it'll be buses. Ask yourself this question: why has the government always still had its hand in train and ground transportation in some shape or form? Why has rich billionaires actually gotten involved in investing in the railway system now, in railroads? You have to start asking these questions, you know? So in The Last Evangelist, and by the way, can I give people the website if they want to go and find out more about the TV series?
Absolutely, positively.
Yeah, go to lastevangelist.com and sign the newsletter. It's free, doesn't cost anything, but I'm just building a community because when it comes out, I want to notify you. And I'm not raising money from investors. I'm taking donations. So if you want to give a donation, I'll send you a T-shirt, or you could have a walk-on or whatever. lastevangelist.com. But the thing is, so I'm making this thing Death Trains, John, and as all this information's unfolding, I'm going, my goodness, I don't even need to shoot the series. All I need to do is take a camera, me and a camera guy, out and film what's really going on now with a few actors. Just put them in the real situations. Of course, I could never do that because you can't get near a railroad. By the way, the law enforcement with the railroad system is some of the strongest law enforcement in the world. You don't mess with those guys.
Isn't that the truth?
Not the railway, not the railroad, you know. There's a reason for that, because they could haul you away.